What's up, guys? Welcome to Fly Like an Eagle podcast. I'm with my guys, Joe and James from the Philly. Oh my God. Passion at
Good,
Sports
good.
Show.
I'm
There
glad
we
you
go.
can trip over your words. Good, I'm glad.
Hey. I got it. I have it covered now. Passion at Sports Show. Man, they're going to be talking about the Phillies pretty much next week, but we got some Eagles to talk about, guys. We got some Eagles to talk about. How you guys doing?
Doing good, man. Doing pretty good. I got some positive news coming out of my doctor front today. I'm all good and well and healthy. Just in time for another cardiac disappointing Eagles game on Sunday. But no, always good, buddy. Always good. Red October starts tomorrow. Looking forward to that. So yeah, it's gonna be a busy weekend. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. I'm pretty damn excited. Also, to quote one thing, it is the best time of the year to be a Philly sports fan.
Unless you're a Sixers fan like me.
Crickets. I mean, hang on a second. I got you, Mitch.
I know what you're doing.
Yeah,
Go for it. Go for it.
Please do.
Where's the crickets at?
You want me to do it?
There we go. That's better.
Yeah, there it is. That's as good as it's going to get.
Oh God, Philly halftime. What is up, my guy? But Joe,
What's up,
how you
brother?
doing?
I am fired up. I am fired up for this weekend.
Yeah, man.
We got the Phillies playoff run starting against those Dodgers that are going to come in and get their ass whooped by the Phillies. And then you got the Broncos coming into South Philly with deer in headlights.
Yeah,
I am just looking forward to back-to-back days all weekend long with Philly competitive, good Philly sports.
By the way, the Flyers start up soon too, so that's around the same start this week too. So we got a jam-packed show, man. So
wait.
before I go any further here, how did we do on the betting favor this week? I could say
What was the final score?
it was oh crap, what was the score? 31. It was 31 or something.
Here, I got it. Give me a second. I got it on my phone. The final score of the Eagles game. Let me go to the schedule. The phone doesn't want to work. 31-25. So I had 21-17. I'm out. James had 24-20.
Yeah.
So Joe won. Joe got 27-23.
Damn, he was close. So he's the winner this week.
So Joe is the winner for the predictions this week.
He has the winner.
There you go, man. There you go. All right. So we have 2 games to cover this week. We got 2 games this week to cover. And I'm excited for that. Like Cool Cat is excited for the Go Birds. He's actually starting a new podcast called 126 Birds, which is, I think that's 126 podcast. Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley. Put them together.
Oh, wow.
Boom.
Funny fact is that's Joey Marks' birthday, 11/26. So you got AJ and Saquon.
Let's go. So let's just get right into it. Before the docket, I've been seeing a lot of things on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Speaking of Instagram, we got a new one. I'm going to talk about that later.
Cool.
Are the Eagles like the 2024 Chiefs? I've been seeing this every single platform. Joe, I'm going to start with you.
Well, what do you mean by are they the 2024 Chiefs? Are they?
It's a little far-fetched.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
What is that?
No, what James said.
No, I said it was a little far-fetched to think of the 2024 Chiefs.
Yeah,
I'll let you go first.
I've been seeing that everywhere. I'm like, I don't care.
Wins are wins. That's how I feel about it too. Gonna
yeah, because the Chiefs won anything by any means necessary. That's what we're talking about here with the Chiefs this past year.
Can we put to rest some of the idea that we're going to analyze every little nook and cranny of every game? This team is 4-0.
Yeah.
Here's the bottom line. They're 4-0 and they haven't played a full game yet, meaning they haven't played a full throat game where they are just going at 100% the whole way through. We had the first half of this last game with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that looked like the continuation of the second half of the Rams game.
Mm-hmm.
And then they died off in the second half of the Bucs game. I get it. People are like, well, do the Eagles have it in them to really pull out like the blowout wins? Mm-hmm. Understand, all 4 of the first team, 3 out of the 4 first teams, we're all difficult teams to play. These aren't Cleveland Browns. These aren't the New York Jets. These aren't these aren't those teams. Like, these guys, these teams are high caliber. It's Super Bowl rematch, NFC division series rematch. With the Rams, you had our bugaboo in Tampa Bay and the Bucs. Like, those 3 games are not easy, yet we still won them. Okay, we didn't smoke them. Yes, we could have boat raced every single one of those teams, and we didn't. And I understand the trepidation people have, but to compare us to 2024 Chiefs, no, we're not. See, I thought the 2024 Chiefs were resting on their laurels. That's why I think the 2024 Eagles came and took the crown away from them. I don't think the Eagles are resting on their laurels.
Right. James?
Yeah. So for me, the one thing that really stuck out to me this week was the one thing that was I really thought that was the big positive coming out of it was the special teams from week 3 into the first play. Because I thought about this when I was seeing it. I said to myself, when was the last time we had a block punt? Turns out for a touchdown, yeah. And I'm talking like 10, 11 years ago. Like Chris Maragos was the last time I remember. I said, when was the last time we're going to have a Chris Maragos block punt? And correct me if I'm wrong, whatever they did, they actually did a great job. But overall, I mean, and then they the way they dominated in that first half was like nothing short of amazing. I was like, do you think about it? You had Baker Mayfield like wrapped up. I mean, he wasn't Baker Mayfield or Baker Mayfield. And then I guess they were like, okay, we got this in the bag. Everything's all good. We're blowing these guys out. Like, kind of feel like it was over before the final bell, you know. And then the Buccaneers were like, I didn't hear no bell, and then they went on a terror like for the last couple months. But I wouldn't say it was a bad performance in the second half for the defense. I felt like it was more of a couple mistakes by the secondary and a couple mistakes that Jahad Campbell made. Like, some of those plays were a little bit of not concerning with the secondary, but at the same time too, it's that you have to find ways, especially like if somebody's open like a Obuka was or a Bucky Irvin was. I mean, if it happens again with like a Cortland Sutton or maybe like Chase Edmonds, J.K. Dobbins, I mean, maybe I'll be a little bit concerned. But overall, like, the thing, too, is that it wasn't a bad performance in the second half. It could have been better, but Baker Mayfield was probably one of the reasons why he was a good quarterback to this point in this season is because he's going to have games that when he was down, he continued to get back up. So, I mean, I said on Facebook that I'm going to hate Baker Mayfield, but not as a player, but I'm just saying that he was really good in the pocket, and he was just really good all game. And I mean, that second half, I got to say, that was really good, but by Baker Mayfield to make the plays happen more than anything.
Yeah. So, James, you want to read this comment by your dad?
Sure, yeah. So he says, this team plays situational football in the NFL. Teams like the Rams and the Bucs show what teams who don't look like. Yeah. I mean, the thing, too, the thing that surprises me with the Buccaneers is that even though they didn't have Mike Evans, they still were able to put up 25 points. Was actually pretty impressive by them. And even more so, kind of reminded me of the old 62-yarder with Tampa Bay with that 65-yarder. And I was thinking, oh, boy, here we go. Going to remind me of 2006 with Shane Graham or whatever his name was or somebody. Or just, yeah, I mean, Tampa Bay always gave us fits. I mean, going back to 2003 at the last game at the Fed, my buddy Mark could tell you that all the time. And even a few friends of mine could talk about Tampa Bay being their kryptonite. But going into Tampa in the hot temperatures and going into Tampa with something to prove, and also we're trying to nurse the heat all that week. I got to give the Eagles a lot of credit for putting up 31 points on Tampa. But, I mean, the one thing was for sure that they had them on the rest, but you still have to stick with them every chance you get. And the most important thing, too, is that if you have a 31-point lead, you have to keep going until the final bell, like I mentioned, until the final 60 minutes are up. And you can't bend, don't break is what I'm saying. You can't just like just like think like you're coasting, and the next you're almost lost the lead.
Do you attribute any of those defensive hiccups to like Nakobo and Campbell, like them being rookies? Like they're just learning.
I would think so. I would think so, because you think about it, because like those are kind of like rookie mistakes, I would have meant, especially what Ibuka did to Makuba. But I think it was somebody who like either like blown a coverage with Quinyon Mitchell, or probably somebody. I mean, they didn't have a Dory Jackson that game, so I'm guessing it was either Keely Ringo's job or that. I mean, the Jahad Campbell one with Bucky Irvin going down the field. First of all, I don't even know why he was even covering him in the first place. That should have been like Cooper DeJean, or could have been Andrew Makuba, like you said, Joe, or even more so could have been Keely Ringo. So that's another blown coverage that really blew me away too. But the one thing that really surprised me the most is that like that could have easily gone in Tampa Bay's favor if you didn't get that stop, like with that turnover that the Eagles got with Jahad Campbell on that touchdown. And I have to say right now that if Tampa Bay would have won that game, that probably could have told you, yeah, you know what? I think Tampa Bay is going to be one of the dark horses in the NFL that could make one step it could be the Eagles and Tampa Bay once again, hopefully in the postseason, maybe NFC Championship game again. These two teams are like really like not far from each other. They're like evenly matched.
Yeah. You want to read this comment by your dad, and I'll get the next one.
Yeah, so it says, make a play when you needed to. Bucks threw a pick, and the Rams got a field goal blocked. And last night, the Rams got stopped on 4th down in overtime. Let me say this too. I know I'm really going over the place today. I've been just
go for it, man. Go for it.
How stupid are the Rams not going for the tush push last night? How stupid are the Rams not going for the brotherly shove? I mean, it was in your hands, my bro. It was in your hands,
Sean. They voted against it. Maybe if you stop voting against a play, that could actually help you.
You know what I mean? I mean, seriously. I saw that last night. I said to myself, hey, Sean, you can also use the tush push. You can also use it. But, like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
It's still legal. I know you voted.
Exactly.
You voted against it. That's fine. But, like, you could still use it.
I don't get it. I don't understand it.
I don't understand how they didn't kick a field goal just to tie.
Well, the thing about it, too, there was a thing about that, too, with the kicker. It's kind of like what Jordan Davis did the week before.
Yeah.
When he blocked. I mean, the way he kicks it, it's like kind of like
they don't trust him. They don't trust him.
It's not like they don't trust. Well, yeah, that's true. That's also true. But the way he kicks it, it's like it's like kind of like short, like a
line drive.
Like a line drive, yeah, exactly. I think that's probably what it is. I mean, it's not like when you see Jake Elliott, it's like right down Broad Street, like right down the middle. I mean, the way he kicks it, it's kind of like not like a squib kick, but at the same time too, it's kind of like I forget what it's like. I mean, I guess it's like it still goes far, but it's kind of like you said, Joe, like a line drive. Kind of like, I don't think Brandon Aubrey has a line drive kind of kick, but if he wants to learn something from Jake Elliott, that's why some of his kicks have gone blocking, because it's probably like line drives more than anything. I think that makes a lot of sense, though, too, Joe.
So, before we get into the A.J. Brown drama, before we get into that, I want to talk about the tush push, because, James, you brought up something that I want to elaborate on.
Sure.
He said that the Rams didn't go for the tush push in the opportunity. They didn't go for it. The Eagles actually faked. They faked the tush push and handed it off to Barkley for the touchdown. So this is my question to you guys, man. How do you guys feel about the Eagles not using the tush push? James, let's go with you.
It's interesting because you think about it. I think the reason why they're doing a little bit, probably doing little by little now, is because obviously the NFLs are looking for the so-called false starts, or they're jumping off for like early. Like, you know what Mike Pereira said. He's like, well, if he was, I mean, you can probably slow it down the tape, and you think they jumped offside, kind of like the old the slow camera like you have on your phone, and you're like smacking somebody in slow motion, like the old Three Stooges days. But overall, though, I think the reason why they stopped doing it little by little is that they don't want to face the fact. I mean, last year they don't think there was another excuse, like the rugby play, or like there's injury like history with it, or like they're trying to look for that false start or offsides. It's like maybe they're just like saying, you know what, I know we're gonna get this ban eventually, so why won't we just full them out, like maybe full some of them out, like to say, okay, like fake it to Barkley, probably maybe once in a while do like a little bit of a Philly special play to make it more interesting. But yeah, it's one of those things that I don't want it to go away because it's so effective, and I thought it was a very good. I mean, we're just so affected by it, but the way the Rams didn't even try it last night was like unbelievable, inexcusable. It's like, and then it's like you only needed 1 yard. I mean, just run Stafford over the middle. And also, kudos to Mac Jones on a great game last night. It looked like Donovan McNabb with that broken ankle. I mean, he was like getting like bludgeoned out there. He was really getting torn, tormented out there, and he was able to stay in that game. So kudos to him on a great game for the 49ers. But Sean McVay, I know you can't stand the tush push, but like I said, dude, you can use it. It's not technically illegal, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm not your buddy,
Joe,
friend.
So, Joe, how do you feel about not using the tush push? The Eagles not using it.
I'm going to quote one of my favorite wrestlers. Just when you have the answers, I change the question. And so you have to understand something.
Kudos. Good of them.
When those guys lined up for that tush push, everyone in the stadium knew what was going to happen, but it didn't.
No, it didn't.
Because in the Eagles' mind, they know they're going to eventually lose it. So now they're playing the Jedi mind trick with some of these other teams, saying, "Oh, you think that's all we are? That we're a one-trick pony? Well, we'll show you. We'll look like we're doing it, and then we'll just give it to the guy 2-6 that can just run free." Like he literally just was like, "Yeah, I'll take it for nothing. Okay, take it." But here's where like the phenomenon really like blows my mind. Right. The people that are against the tush push tend to be people that never played the game. People that are like former players, even ones I don't really care for, like the tush push. They're okay with it. I mean, they're not in love with it. They're not enamored by it, but they're like, yeah, okay, it works. If I had a play in my pocket that worked that well and that successfully, hell no, I wouldn't want it taken away. And here, because Tom Brady on the telecast was literally saying, well, it works not just because of the technique. That's part of it. The other part is you have a quarterback that squats like 1,000 pounds.
What we said.
That is insane. Like Tom Brady is the last quarterback in the known universe that would ever do a tush push. He doesn't want anybody touching his ass unless it's a supermodel. Okay, the idea that Tom Brady would never do the tush push, yet he supports it. And by the way, just so everyone's aware, Tom Brady is a co-owner of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Well, here's the other thing too that you make a good point here about that too, Joey. It worries me a little bit about what Tom Brady is saying though, and here's what it is. Because in case you haven't noticed, I think it was like week 2 or week 1, or maybe week 1 or week 2, when he was in the booth with the coaches, and it kind of like he was like stealing Astros, like kind of pulling a Houston Astros of stealing signs. I can't imagine what the Eagles will be playing them in December when they take on the Raiders. And I'm going to say to myself, Tom Brady better not be stealing signs from us, especially what he was trying to do with the Chargers. Because, I don't think he will. I think nowadays, I think either Roger Goodell had to tell him, like, yo, dude, you can't do that. But let me say this about...
He should be banned from doing any Raiders games.
That's true. Should be or NFL games, overall NFL games. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing too. I mean, especially if you have a job like Fox and you're working as a minority owner with the Raiders. I mean, you got to pick like one side or the other. It's like you either have to work with us on Fox or you have to be a minority owner. I mean, you can't like try to kill two birds in one stone is what I'm saying.
I'll tell you this. We talked about it before we came on the air about Al Horford, Mitch, about like the money he's making at 39. Tom Brady I don't know, he's in his 40s now, I think.
Correct, yeah.
For a 40-year-old, we're in his 40s, for 4 hours a week, gets paid $24.5 million a year. I'm like, what?
He's 48. Tom Brady's 48.
Damn.
I'm in the wrong profession, man. $24.5 million to talk sports for 4 hours?
Yeah.
Yep.
Sign me
He's the
up.
dude, man. He's the dude, like the Big Lebowski. He's the dude, man.
He's the boob. He's the boob.
He's the boob.
Like that.
Speaking of the guy who is the boob and this generosity, let's talk about somebody else in particular. Drew Brees.
Okay.
What exactly? I gotta let this off my chest here.
Go for it.
What makes you think that the Eagles are a boring team where all you did in New Orleans was freaking win? So allow me to say this. If I said to you that the Eagles game on week 3 was a boring game, like the whole game was boring, people would look at me like, yo, Jibs, did you watch the game? The game was exciting to watch. I mean, yeah, the first half was a little bit boring because we were getting blown out, but that second half was nothing short of amazing. It's like he's trying to cause drama he's trying to get a hot take out there because he's on a show called First Take. And the craziest thing about it is that it's not even a hot take. Yo, dude, it's a bullshit take. It's not even like facts. Like you look at all the people that go on First Take, and it's a great show. I love Stephen A. going off on these blowhards every chance they get. But it's like, I used to respect Drew Brees as a quarterback because he was a good quarterback, and all he did was win, especially coming into 2006 when a tragedy happened with Hurricane Katrina and see Steve Gleason become a hero, and you're going to tell Steve Gleason, yeah, that was a boring game. Really? Really, dude? I mean, I don't want to say that personally, but like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, have you watched the Eagles games? Have you watched them? I mean, did you get hit in the head a couple times, dude? Did you get a screw in your head or something like that Cure Auto Insurance commercial? I mean, what are you talking about, dude? Seriously.
This is what I'll say about Drew Brees. It's real.
It's unbelievable.
Number one, just because you got fired from NBC because you couldn't call a Notre Dame game correctly, that's not anybody's fault but your own. You're a terrible commentator.
He got kicked out by
Thank God he didn't commentate a Michigan game. Thank God.
Thank God.
Well, you know what? We had Gary Danielson for a majority of our lives, too, as a Georgia fan, but I guess we're pretty freaking lucky.
You want to talk about boring?
I know Vernon Lundquist, too.
Shout
out to Humpy Gilmore.
His color commentary during a Notre Dame game was as boring as watching paint dry. Okay, understand something. That with Drew Brees' take, envy is not a good color on you, Drew. Look, it's easy to be envious of a quarterback who is younger than you and has accomplished more than you did at that age. You had one Super Bowl, Drew. He's got one Super Bowl. He's not even 30. Okay? So understand, he may never eclipse your completion percentage record. He may never eclipse your yards. But as I said to you guys last week, when we think about quarterbacks, when we talk about and mention quarterbacks, elite great quarterbacks, both now and in the past, Joe Montana, Tom Brady, Pat Mahomes, first stat we come up with
is wins.
Is Super Bowls.
Super Bowls, yeah.
Championships. And you have to win at a consistent level to get to a Super Bowl. You have to even win when the lights are shining brightest to win a Super Bowl trophy. Ask Joe Burrow, because everyone who deems Joe Burrow to be one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league currently, he got to the big show and shows.
Yep.
Correct.
That's true.
So, that's my point of view. So Drew Brees, envy is not a good color on you because clearly that
doesn't look good on you, man.
That's the only color commentating you can do is just that kind of color.
Well, the worst part about it is with Drew Brees. My dad brings up a very good pointer. Winning is never boring, no matter how you slice it. It's like brilliantly boring, like that PNC bed that Merrill says all the time. But the thing that drives me crazy, it's that there is so many players out there that won't give Jalen Hurts the credit. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's because he's not flashy. Okay, check. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He hasn't gotten a couple Super Bowls. Check. And then this Drew Brees ass clown comes out of nowhere and says, well, he has some boring wins every chance he gets. It's like, all right, dude. So let me ask you this. When you saw Brett Favre get intercepted by Tracy Porter in 2010, was that boring? Was that boring? Because I know it was boring for the Vikings fans because they just saw another collapse. But was it boring to you? Nah, I didn't think so. So shut the fuck up.
Right. And then your dad goes, some of the most exciting quarterbacks in the NFL haven't even seen a Super Bowl.
Right.
That is correct. 1,000%.
That is true. That is 100%. Part of my French, I don't want to keep it a PG show, but I have to say that.
I got to ask, James, if you started happy hour early.
Yeah. Well, I'm ticked over by my Bulldogs last week because Kirby Smart outsmarted himself, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Michigan didn't even play last week.
You're lucky.
So we won.
Hey. Well, let me say this about James Franklin, too. I don't know what was going on in his head, but him and Kirby Smart probably had some shots together after the game because they both sucked.
Yeah. So we got to cover this. I hate bringing up this kind of topic, but we do, and that is A.J. Brown and what he put on social media. So as you guys can see here, I'm going to zoom in a little bit.
Now there's a couple different ones. One he took down and one that was up. So I'm curious if we're
this is the one that he took down. So I'm gonna read it, and then you guys tell me what you guys think about it. So if you're not welcomed, not listened to, quietly withdraw. Don't make a scene. Shrug your shoulders and be on your way. So I'm gonna start off with you, Joe. How do you feel about this?
I'll be honest. I'm kind of in the minority, but I wasn't in the minority, I should say, until there was another tweet that was put out after he had the press conference on Wednesday. This tweet, I feel, is a bit innocuous, but it's also of a petulant child. Like, it's of a child, like, no one's paying attention to me. Like, I want the ball. And it's like, dude, you're on a winning team with a lot of mouths to feed. Like,
it does sound like that, dude, too.
Have I lost my mind that, AJ doesn't see the realism in the fact that you got Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley, Dallas Goedert, Jalen Hurts himself, and then AJ Brown. I'm not saying AJ's the last man on the totem pole, but there's a lot of mouths to feed on that offense. So you got 9 targets and caught the ball twice for 7 yards. He threw you the ball 9 times. You only caught it twice. Look, good receivers. No. Let me back that up. Great receivers, like A.J. Brown thinks he is, make those plays no matter what. Jerry Rice would catch a ball in double coverage all the damn time because he was that good. Randy Moss, the same thing. Randy Moss say his quote for Randy Moss is always, just throw the ball up, I'll go get it. Like, don't matter where you put it, I'll go get it. Like, just throw it up. And so Jalen did just that. He threw it up. The only problem, AJ, you didn't go get it. So instead of you thinking you're being ignored and that you're not getting the proper attention and you're not, maybe you should look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, I'm not producing. Now, he went out to the press conference and said just that. That he was upset, that he let his emotions get the best of him when he made that tweet, and it was a mistake. And then he proceeded, and I don't know the exact tweet, but I heard some bits and pieces of it on WIP this morning. So he apparently went at Seth Joyner because apparently Seth Joyner said, dude, you got to man up. Like, kind of essentially what I'm saying is like, there's a lot of mouths to feed. You're still winning games. No, it's not pretty. Yes, there's a lot of stuff to work on. Yes, that includes you. Yes, that includes Jalen. Yes, that includes everyone. You guys aren't playing at full capacity yet. So give it time. You're going to get yours. But if you're going to sit here and whine and bitch and moan and do all that. Now, AJ's response was something to the effect of calling Seth Joyner a boy.
Right.
And kind of to shut up kind of thing. And so me and James, I don't know if you remember this, but in our later tenure at Wildfire Radio, when we moved to the other studio, Seth Joyner was a part of Wildfire Radio.
That's right.
So he was in the studio
I can't remember this
one time, and me and a co-host of ours got into a heated debate. And I started, speaking very loudly. And the director and / owner of the radio, the network, when we were done our show, pulled me aside. He's like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Can you keep it down next time?" I'm like, "Okay, the booths are supposed to be soundproof." He's like, "Yeah, I know they're supposed to be, but somehow you break the sound barrier." So I like, okay, why? He's like, well, another radio show host was complaining about hearing your voice during their show. And he was hooting and hollering, and he couldn't hear himself think because you were hooting and hollering. That other host was Seth Joyner. So I'm like, when he told me it was Seth Joyner, I'm like, yo, I apologize. I ain't trying to get that smoke. I ain't trying to get that.
So, I will whoop your ass.
Oh, yeah, no, I ain't trying to catch that smoke at all. No, sir. So I was like, you tell Mr. Joyner, I apologize. I will keep it down, and I will, keep my P's and Q's to myself. But for AJ Brown, understand something. You want to make yourself the spotlight. Just be careful. And Seth Joyner said this. Be careful what you wish for. Because if you become too much of a distraction, there's enough talent on this team that we can move on from you. And then where are you going to end up? Somewhere like the Texans or Cleveland or Tennessee. You can get catches there. You're not going to get any rings.
Right.
That's just the bottom line.
So, you know what you should have said? You should have said, well, tell the guy I was debating with that he was wrong in his take, and I'll be as loud as I want. So I got to get the right point out.
You can tell Seth Joyner that. I'm not.
I ain't touching that dial, pal. I ain't touching that dial, brother.
That dog ain't going to hunt.
Well, here's the thing. If anybody said that Seth Joyner told me that I was loud, I'm going to say, you know what? My sincere apologies. Like the first thing you do not want to do is try to confront Seth Joyner. And I've seen the guy one time, and he's pretty bulky, man. I'm going to say, it's like one time when someone yells at, "Hey, yo, Seth, this guy wants a piece of you." Oh yeah, and you look at the guy, it's like, I stand corrected. Actually, have a good day. I'm sorry.
It was kind of like when
I'm a nerd. I don't care. I'll admit it.
Shout out to John Crichton. John Crichton was our radio director at the time.
Right.
When he pulled me aside and told it, I was like, okay, John, like, who is it? And I thought it was some dude. Again, another shout out to 4th and John. And so I thought it was one of those guys. I was like, what? Is E-Rock upset that I'm, being too loud? Like, that guy's hot kettle. And he's like, oh no, it was Seth Joyner. I was like, I'm sorry, what now? I'm like, you tell Mr. Joyner I apologize, and I will not be doing that anymore.
So there's two things that in life that you had to suffer through: almost getting confronted by Seth Joyner, and also getting confronted by your dad because you didn't know who Steve Carlton was.
Oh God!
Yeah. So
I'm gonna live that down for the rest of my life. I'm just never gonna like.
Hey, look, I was there in 2005 when T.O. was doing sit-ups in the driveway. I had his autograph an hour later, an hour before. So So it's only just fitting that somehow in some way I almost got into the beef of T.O. and Donovan. It's like the same thing you had with Seth.
It's interesting because with that whole situation, I'm like,
right.
Okay, can I just apologize to Seth in person? He was like, oh no, he left. He stormed out of here. I was like,
oh shit.
So, I was like, okay. Like I'm thinking, so our other co-host, they went from having my back to falling back. They're like,
I was like, you're on your own, man.
You're on your own, dude. We love you. We're not doing that. We're not going that
far. Oh my AJ, my God.
You could be a man like me, a man without a country, if you want to piss Seth Joyner off and you want to piss the Eagles brass off. Because keep something in mind. When you put something on Twitter, everyone's watching. You're under a microscope.
Yep. Oh,
and I'll take the words out of a friend's mouth when saying you can't tell tone through text. Well, the problem is when you can't tell tone through text, that means it's open for interpretation. That means you can put something out in text on Twitter saying X, Y, and Z and say, oh, that's not what I meant with it at all. Doesn't matter. Someone else interpreted that way. That's on you.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's the other thing, too, about the A.J. Brown thing, too. And I got to say this, too, because you make very good points about this, too, Joe. I got to say it. I think the one thing that A.J. kind of surprised me with what he was saying it's just that it wasn't T.O.-like to me, but at the same time, too, it kind of sounds like he was a little bit of a pest, to say the least, because he was more like he was just like he's not – and I understand that he's not getting the ball, and I understand it's like it's been going on for God knows apparent reason how long it's been going on now. But I think the one thing that there's something that I have to do, especially when I see like a awful take like Drew Brees or somehow Joe Giglio says something about Jalen Hurts doesn't look too flashy enough, and I'm thinking, okay, sometimes I have to keep my temper at a minimum, but sometimes I have to let it out just because, I mean, it's like a therapy. You got to let it out when it's there, you know. Sometimes when you're at therapy, you have to let out your emotions. Like it's kind of like Tony Soprano. Sometimes I have a little bit of a Tony Soprano with some of these troll networks. Not saying all of them are trolls, like on the radio side, but sometimes it feels like I don't want to sound like I'm trying to say the wrong thing, but I'm also trying to tell you that sometimes it pisses me off that people like players like AJ gets a little testy on the social media platform, because if you really think about it, there's a lot of craziness that is going on right now. The last thing you want to do is you want to make a complete ass of yourself, especially on social media. I mean, sometimes, yeah, sure. I mean, I was wrong about the Phillies with the Johan Duran situation and the Harrison Bader thing. And sometimes I get pissed off about, okay, maybe it's probably that, look, we're all human. Like somehow in some way it could be something up here with mental, like could be a mental health approach that someone told me that he's been dealing with depression for a while. I mean, look, there's a lot of people out there that are depressed nowadays, and I have to say I was one of them. I have to say that usually that it's okay. And someone told me a long time ago to say it's okay to not be okay. And there's also some people telling me, dude, let it out. You know, let out the vent. Like let it out like until the cows come home, you know, somehow in some way. That maybe he just needs to probably ask his offensive coordinator, like, dude, how can we get the ball to me? Like have a little bit of a one-on-one with your offensive coordinator or Jalen, kind of like how Nick Foles was with LeGarrette Blount when he kept on when LeGarrette fumbled the football one time, and Nick Foles was like, you got to hit in my stomach for me to try to feed the ball off to me. You know?
Oh wait, this is where I'll kind of push back. So. You know, you go into like the OC and Jalen and the head coach, just say, "Hey, I want the ball more. You need to figure out a way to get me the ball more."
Yeah.
Okay. So you got the ball he got the ball thrown at him 9 times.
That's true.
So you want us to feed you more, then you're going to have to go and explain to Saquon and Devontae and Dallas why they're getting fed less. Like, that's the difference. That's why being in this kind of dynamic of an offense is difficult. You got to have no ego walking into this. Now, Mitch, I'll ask you a question about this. So when it comes down to AJ Brown, the whole thing he wants is numbers. He wants to be famous. He wants to go in the Hall of Fame. He wants, that legacy, that legendary legacy for himself. If he doesn't have the receiving yards, but he has, let's just pie in the sky hope, he has 4 Super Bowl rings. You tell me, Mitch, do you not put him in the Hall of Fame because of his individual stats?
It's actually kind of funny you brought this up, because on my other show I do on Sundays on the Hardcore Sports Network, we have a Sunday morning show. And one of the questions that it's like the biggest question that we talk about for the whole entire show: who's on the Mount Rushmore of wide receivers? Okay, we were talking about that today and everything, and we're going to toss a tight end in there, but that's besides the point. When you're
talking about like overall or just in this day and age?
Are we talking about the NFL overall or the Eagles?
NFL.
Okay. Oh, okay. NFL. I'm coming back to that. So when you look at the Mount Rushmores, right? You got Jerry Rice. You got Randy Moss.
Right.
Some people put T.O. in there. Some people put
Chad Johnson. Chad Ochocinco. Not on mine personally, but maybe you get T.O., you get Fitzgerald. There's a lot of players you could go in there, right? Calvin Johnson, my buddy told me today, he will put him in there for the impact that he had. That's a good one.
So Calvin Johnson is in the Hall of Fame with no ring. Calvin Johnson is in. So you're saying AJ
Andre
Brown
Johnson too? Same thing with Andre Johnson too.
Yeah, but AJ Brown with 4 rings, he gets in there automatically. I think he gets in there. Really? He got the stats and everything. Now, AJ Brown is in.
Here's the difference when I'm taking just the comparison, the side by side comparison of Calvin Johnson and AJ Brown. Right. Calvin's going to have more individual stats. Okay.
Correct.
And Calvin's career is done. AJ's is still going, so he could still build. But if AJ has 3 or 4 championship rings, and Calvin, again, like you said, doesn't have any,
right?
Do the rings supersede the individual achievements? I think they do. I'm with you. I think someone like Jerry Rice and Randy Moss, who had the privilege of having those absurd, eye-bulging numbers and individual statistics, and also had rings. There's a lot of perspective when it comes down to what AJ needs to do. And a lot of people, I've heard this whole week. Well, is Jalen and AJ's relationship fractured?
No,
wait, I'm like, hold on.
No,
I'm like, first off,
that's what I'm saying.
But why does that matter? Like,
why is it?
Here's the thing: do they have to like hug it out? Do they have to like?
They're brothers, like siblings.
I'm not even teasing you because before we came on, Mitch, I told you I'm doing more tweets now. I kind of felt like tweeting out this morning. I want to start a campaign so that AJ can feel more included, and it's Hug by Hurts. Hashtag Hug by Hurts.
Hug by Hurts. Well,
I love that.
That's good. Actually, that's creative.
Give AJ a hug by Jalen Hurts. Hug by Hurts.
Or there's another one. Hugs for Brown. Like give AJ Brown a hug.
But this is the question I've been saving also since we're talking about AJ Brown. You brought up the Hall of Fame. This is the perfect time for me to ask it.
Sure.
Do you think it's time to trade AJ Brown and try to get some assets back? Because when you look at the locker room, right? That's the number one thing. That's the Eagles thing. Hold on. When the Eagles, right? The locker room, that's the number one thing. You got brotherhoods. You got all these relationships, right? I kind of trust Devontae Smith to be the number one. We've seen it before.
That's right.
He was good. I believe that was his rookie season, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, but, 21, right? That was his rookie season.
I have faith. Right. I got good. I'm not being biased because he's my favorite player. But I'm just saying, if this keeps on happening with AJ Brown, maybe I'm with you, Dad, here.
Absolutely not. I'm not trading him.
Yeah, but I don't know. How much time can we handle that.
I mean, I get your point. I understand what you're saying because I know how much it's been a real constant with AJ all year long. Obviously, we're now in week 5, and also going back to last year when they said about something about the passing, and then next week it's Jalen was like, "Is that what you wanted to see?" For me, the only reason that if AJ has to be traded is that if he wants out, if that's the thing, you know what I mean? Because I mean, I love Davante, I love AJ. I think this is the thing that surprises me a little bit is that it's not as bad as it was, like I mentioned, with the T.O. situation, or like when Antonio Brown said, "Screw you guys, I'm done," and he walks off like basically like Eric Cartman without a chicken without his head. So, I get the point that he's frustrated and he's trying to understand where he's coming from. But even my dad brings up a good point here. He says that AJ isn't saying that he wants the ball more, but more importantly, he wants to be more efficient in the lot. And, there was a time in 2001, there was a Sixers documentary out there about Allen Iverson and Larry Brown, right?
Right.
And then it was Pat Croce trying to police them two together and try to, like, they had a little bit of a fallout, It was like, okay, like Allen Iverson said his piece, and all along with Larry Brown said his piece. But the one thing they did after that, they connected with each other, and they started to connect with one. I mean, this is probably what you need right now. You need to have like a Nick Sirianni or Howie Roseman or Jeffrey Lurie and say, okay, how can we fix this problem? It's like kind of like in the day and age of like living your life. I mean, yeah, you're going to have good days. Yeah, you're going to have bad days. I mean, yeah, I have a ton of them. I mean, we're all human. But I had to say this too, is that maybe if he addresses it and also says like, look, I know we can be a great football team, but we need to find a way to be more obsolete, or what's that word? I know what that word is, but
I know what you mean. Yep.
You know what I mean. And at the same time, too, it says I want AJ to get the ball. And you make a very good point here, Joey, about that Saquon. It's going to probably cause a divide in the locker room with Saquon, but I don't think it is. I mean, it's just and then the comparison of the 2024 Chiefs, about every time they won, it was like close to the vest. I mean, it's not even the 23 Eagles when they had like Joe Schmo 1 and Joe Schmo 2 on offense and defense, and Sean
I like Joe Schmo. I like Joe Schmo.
Brian Johnson. Everybody does. But no, I mean, but I think they'll figure it out eventually. But at the same time, too, is that I think that maybe this weekend they'll finally break the camel's back of hopefully AJ finally being more present after talking about it and also talking about it with the media. So I mean, now it's just let's just hope it's not all sour grapes at the end of the night.
So we'll see, because he's going to have Patrick Surtain following him around
for sure.
So one of the things this is how I respond to the idea of trade. Yeah. First off, it's going to be tough trading him because you're going to take such a big dead cap hit.
That's another reason why. Yes, that's another reason why.
Absolutely,
we need
because you just resigned. You gave him an extension not that long ago.
Correct.
And so that's going to hit hard on the wallet, and you can't afford that now when you have Jalen Carter and a couple of the young bucks coming up next year.
Right.
Yeah.
This is how I would. And I want to tap into what your dad said about it's not just about him not getting more targets, it's about his efficiency. And I agree with that.
Right.
But when you're sitting here saying that in its most obtruse kind of oblivious kind of way that you're being ignored, that makes me feel like you are being ignored. What? Because of your production? Look, you haven't cost us a game yet. So this city hasn't turned on you yet. So if anything, just like Davante and just like Saquon's not having a great year, but we're not turning on Saquon because he's not making a spectacle of himself. He's keeping his head down and trying to produce better opportunities for himself. You don't need to go on the Twitter and make a spectacle of yourself in order to prove a point.
Yeah. As it is with social media about like with that front too, but I get what you're saying.
I honestly think one thing should happen. I think the Philadelphia Eagles should do something that has never been done to any athlete in any sport. I think they need to ban AJ from social media. I think you need to cut the vocal. I think you got to take
cut the head off the snake.
I think you got to take the megaphone out of the loudmouth's hands. I think you got to take that because one voice can't be louder than the unified voice.
Yeah,
it just can't be.
That would actually make it more reliable. If you can say to AJ Brown, like, dude, forget about social media. Let's focus on the game. I think he might feel better. I think he might feel better because here's the thing with social media. I mean, they talk about it a lot that people are so obsessed with their phones that they can't get off of it. The craziest thing is that I actually will be okay with that because I feel like in this day and age of society, it's either you're political agenda gets in the way or your sports knowledge gets in the way, and somehow in some way you have to talk about that other side, which, by the way, if you talk about that other side, have at it, and I'm not saying any prejudice things about that, but if you want to, I mean, the one thing I would say is, too, if someone told me, James, you have to get off social media, fine, I'm good with that. I would say thank you for saying that because I'll be like, hopefully it'll wake something.
Like, James, you go on social media to keep up with family and friends, or
Absolutely.
to maybe get like clicks and likes and stuff to gain.
It's like hit and miss, but I get what you're saying.
Your brand and whatnot. But AJ Brown doesn't need any of that.
No, he doesn't.
He's going on there to gain attention.
Right.
That's what he's going on for. So instead of turning your attention to something like that, turn your attention to improving your game.
Mm-hmm.
Turn your attention to being the Randy Moss and the Jerry Rice.
Right.
You talked about it, Mitch, about that Mount Rushmore. The only way AJ Brown makes it to that Mount Rushmore is if he puts his career ahead of his needs.
Yep,
absolutely.
You gotta look long term, not short term.
There's a saying out there. I'm sorry, Mitch.
No, you go.
There's a saying out there. I used to say back in the day that social media is the devil, but then I start to realize some people are sometimes it, like, when you say something like that, some people are like, I like what you had to say there, pal. But overall though, I think it'll be good for AJ to get off social media, especially not knowing about his mishaps and all this, that, and the other. Because I mean, I don't want a thing to. Like, speaking of Carson Wentz here, that the Carson Wentz thing happened with the blow up after he tore his knee up, and then he said, "I don't want the Eagles to win when I'm not the quarterback," and I want, like, basically said, you don't want to wish Nick Foles to succeed in your absence, and then it can turn into a real.
Well, you know what, James? He didn't say it on social media. He said it in the trainers.
Personally, yeah, he said it personally.
So I can respect that a little bit.
Yeah,
because he didn't put it out there for everyone to see. He said it between in-house.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. That's absolutely true.
All right, I'm gonna say this, right?
Sure.
The only reason I brought that up with the trade, I don't want to trade AJ Brown either. I don't want that to happen. But when you look at the whole team as a whole, you guys brought up Saquon Barkley, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert's actually playing pretty well. I'm going to keep that out there.
Right.
But some players are not playing to their best on the offensive line. They're keeping their mouths shut. They're keeping their mouths quiet. They put their phone down. They just keep working, right? They just keep going.
Keeping the main thing the main thing.
Can we do this? How many times do we have to go through this with AJ? He's done it last year. He's going to do it again and again and again. And then with the book, he pretends to read. He pretends to read his book like I don't know, some author after he's done writing the book, he'll read it.
I get what you're saying, brother. I do, because you make a very good point. Because I understand that somehow in some way you want to make your presence. It's kind of like in this day and age. It's kind of like it's his. I wouldn't say diary-like because I don't want to sound like it sounds weird to write a diary.
Right.
But it's kind of like there's so much shit going on in today's society that you can't get away from social media. And that's probably what the problem is that, like you said, I think you make a very good point here too, Mitch, because, like, once he's not happy, like, shit hits the fan. You know what I'm saying? Somehow, in some way, that's just going to divide the locker room. But I don't think it will.
Yet he should take a page out of Jalen Hurts' book. Mm-hmm. If we're going to read books, if we're going to educate ourselves, he should
do a Bible study or something.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts' book, and that is Jalen Hurts doesn't go on social media and talk like that. He's more focused on philanthropical situations and making his brand as productive as it possibly can be. Mm-hmm. And the one main reason why that's effective is because you align yourself with a guy like Michael Jordan, who said, you don't need social media.
There you go.
Just need to know what your job is.
Got to be up here and here.
Stay with Derek Jeter too. He talked to Jeter.
That's true. So, well, here's the thing.
Two guys that aren't on social media like that.
Of all the Taylor Swifts and the Alex Rodriguez's, be more like Jalen Hurts and Michael Jordan. That's how I look. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. So, sorry, James. Would you want to read this comment from your dad?
Yeah. So he says the team has the leadership in place to keep everyone on the same page, including AJ. They did have a player meeting this week to talk about it. So I'm guessing maybe
I forgot about that. Thank you. Yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I didn't even know about that. Actually, it actually makes me feel a little bit better about that, to say the least.
It does a little addressing it. I'm glad that they're addressing it.
Yeah,
because if AJ wants to get to that Mount Rushmore stats, he's gotta he's gonna get the numbers. He's gonna get there. I don't have faith. I have faith on Jalen and AJ Brown.
Yeah, I got
What is the problem?
You know, the problem of the problem of this team right now is, and I hate to say this because I never thought I would, the offensive line.
Yep.
The offensive line is not started and finished a game except for one. They haven't started and finished a game yet this season.
It's
not
true.
All five. Like Lane's got nicked up here. Cam Jurgens has got nicked up. Landon Dickerson's got nicked up. Steen's got nicked up. Like none of them have made it through a full game together.
Right.
So there is this lack of you have Matt Pryor coming in.
Right.
Like you have Matt Pryor and Fred Johnson coming in. Like we shouldn't know Matt Pryor's on the damn team. Yeah. Like that's the point. So I am disappointed, not at Statland, not at Statland University. I'm disappointed. I don't give the offensive line a high grade this semester. So they gotta pick it up.
They grew one step further this year. I'm not one step further, but age could also do that too, and more important than anything like that too.
I'm actually glad.
Lamar Jackson.
I'm really glad, Joe, that you brought that up because I was watching a video today. The Eagles, Chat Sports, right? Mm-hmm. And they were talking about the biggest problem, and that was the offensive line. So here's some of the stats here. So the biggest here, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. They are 25th in yards before contact per carry, 27th in run stuff rate, 22nd in run block win rate, 24th in pressure rate allowed, and 26th in pass block win rate. That comes down to not AJ. That comes down to Lane Johnson being out.
But does it could do
it?
Does those numbers look like anything of a Jeff Statland offensive line? Does that look like anything that a Jeff Statland offensive line would do? No. And that is the problem. And I'm not saying it's just Lane. The only consistent offensive line player that's been on the field the most consistently has been Jordan Mailata.
Mm-hmm.
And so understand something, you get more consistency and continuity back with those guys and those dogs start to hunt, that offense is going to start churning. But we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. And Mitch, I might be transitioning you into the next segment. We have a problem.
Actually, we're winding down. So
right. We have 2 games in less than 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
You have to figure out real quick how to be together and have some continuity on that offensive line. Otherwise, you may be losing the next 2 games.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. With that being
That's
said,
true.
man. With that being said, as we're closing up Fly Like an Eagle, this show has been really good. Sorry, guys, I wanted to go over, the other games, but this whole AJ Brown thing just took this whole show by a wing.
It was like the big story on Action News.
It was the biggest thing, so we had to cover that real quick.
Shout out to Jim Gardner.
So let's go with the predictions, and you guys know, with the predictions, whoever wins, whoever gets closest to the score gets the win. So I'm up 2-1-1. So I'm going to start off with Joe here. What are your predictions for the Broncos and the Giants game? Because we got 2 games this week, as you said.
So I'll start with the Broncos. I honestly think this is going to be a little bit of a sweat, not because of the Broncos offense, but because of the Broncos defense. I think they have a really good defense, and it's like I just said, if that continuity on that Eagles offensive line isn't there, the Eagles are going to have a struggle. Because they're going to have a struggle getting the running game going, and if they can't get the running game going, it's going to be harder to get the passing game going. That being said, I still have the Eagles pulling this out because honestly, I'm getting on the Frank Finnegan 8-0 train. So I am saying Eagles 24, Broncos 17.
Okay, and then the Giants one, we're just going to go there, and then James, you're next.
Well, okay, so we're going to go up to MetLife Stadium and play Jackson Dart. Good for him. He got a good game. He can run around. Okay, here's my
throw darts.
Yeah, he can throw darts.
Or that's an old hockey term with a dart. A pop dart. A pop dart. There we go.
I hate to say this because I know Scott Churchin's going to be listening to this. I got the Eagles smoking, boat racing, finally, the Giants in MetLife Stadium, 35-14.
35 to what? I'm sorry?
14.
14? Wow. All right. James, you are up.
Well, the last couple games I had.
Giants.
Yeah, so the last couple games I had a little bit closer to the vest, obviously. Like the Rams game, I was close. I was close with Tampa Bay last week. Same results. I think I got the same results this week as the Eagles play Denver. I'm not worried about Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix is a good quarterback, but somehow, some way, he's gonna
leave.
Yeah,
Bo don't know. Bo don't know.
Yeah, Bo don't know exactly right.
Yeah, but I don't believe in Bo Nix.
He ain't a believer.
Oh my God, Bo Dallas! You actually put a Bo Dallas on me.
For you
oh my God! I haven't heard that in a long time.
Believer.
I haven't heard that in a long time. Oh my!
I was waiting for you to pick up on that. I was like, Jake, better get it.
I do get it. Hard to believe. I actually believe it or not. That was around the time my sister was starting to watch it because she just said to me when I was in recovery, all you got to do is believe, James. I was like, oh, God, sis, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me.
All right. What's your prediction here?
Well, I got the Eagles winning 28-24 on the Denver game. And believe me, I ain't believing in Bo Nix's mantra. But that's such a bad error. Oh, my God.
Right.
Oh my God. So for the Giants, I got two things happening
at this one, James. Just throw a dart at it.
Throw a dart at it. I actually throwing 2 darts. I got the dart. I got the Eagles beating the Giants, and it's gonna be a blowdown. I can't even talk. I'm sorry. A blowout.
Hey, we're not the only ones. Yes.
I got no. It's like no filter on this show.
All right, go for it.
A blowout. I got the Eagles blowing out that game, and I also got the Phillies winning that day too when they go to the NLCS. Just to pull you, just to make you feel more happier, Mitch.
All right, what's your score here for the Giants one?
Same as Joey's. 30. Actually, no, I'm gonna say 38. 17 birds. I got them 38. 2 darts for the person won that day.
All right, so I think it's going to be a much closer game against the Broncos. It's going to be neck and neck, more defensively. So I'm going to go the Eagles 21-20.
Ooh.
I think that, and then for the Giants one, all right, it's definitely. I think it's going to be lower than both of you guys. So I'm going to go 28-20. to 24. I'm going to go 28 to 24. So
that could be reasonable. That could be reasonable against the Giants. That the Giants games are always close to the vest, but I think they blow them out this year for some reason.
Eagles 27-17 over Denver and 41-10 over Giants. Scott, you saw that? Scott?
Don't go by me, Scott. That's my pops right there, pal. So you got to talk to him about that.
Hey, next week I'll call Scott. Next week I'll call Scott on the show and be like, what was the score?
I think Scott's still recovering from the Mets collapse. So let's
that too.
Yeah. And also, as a former Philly, too, and Tyler Phillips that closed them out.
All right, guys. Really quick before we go to 3 words or less, before that, we have an Instagram now. The Fly Like an Eagle podcast has an Instagram. So now you can follow us over there, Fly Like an Eagle Pod, all lowercase. We got reels. I'm going to upload clips there. The clips are going to be pretty much more exclusive to Instagram. Maybe 1 or 2 here on YouTube, but mostly over there on Instagram. Make sure you guys follow that. And now, Joe, 3 words or less.
AJ, shut up.
Okay.
Fangio's comeback game.
Okay, I like that. And then my 3 words: leave AJ alone.
Leave AJ alone.
That was Joe Scorza. So for mine, AJ, can I do STF? Can I do that or no?
STF. What's that? What's that?
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
you can do it.
You could do it.
Okay,
I said the Drew Brees to shut the fuck up, so you could do that.
So that's mine. AJSTFU. So there you go. That is mine. So with that being said, guys, like, subscribe, share right here on Steampunk Sports PA. Follow us on Instagram, Fly Like an Eagle Pod, and we'll catch you guys later. Great show, guys. Very great show.
Go Birds!
Go Birds! Go Phils!
Man. We're out.